Hello everyone, welcome to Vinyasa Yoga. And as I prepare to read our waiver, you're welcome to find a comfortable seated position in the middle of your mat. Today I'm going to come to a hero's pose with my blocks. But you're welcome to come to this, or if Sukhasana feels right for you today, I want you to settle in a space of comfort to start. And then, as always, our waiver. In order to make these classes as freely accessible as possible to our participants, we'll be using a verbal warning and assumption of risk at the beginning of class. Participation in this online class is voluntary. Physical activity programs may result in injury, and by participating, you assume the risk of injury that may result from your participation. We strongly recommend that you participate from a space that is suitable for this activity. For example, make sure you move nearby furniture or other potential hazards. If you are participating in a yoga class or a class that involves laying on the ground, we recommend using a mat, or if you don't have one, a carpeted area. Participants are encouraged to stop if they experience pain or injury and should seek appropriate medical advice or care as needed. William & Mary Health and Wellness strongly recommends that each participant have an annual physical exam and follow the advice of your healthcare provider before participating. So again, welcome everyone. So our practice today is going to be a kind of a different kind of flow. I have the distinct privilege this week of studying with one of my favorite teachers. He reminded me of a flow that I haven't done in years, and I've been adding it into my practice. So we're going to step into this space and become really familiar with it, almost as if it's like a little dance. So allowing ourselves to just settle in to start. Noticing the breath, knowing its natural rhythm. Noticing the temperature of the texture. As you stay in just that natural rhythm of breath, just allowing yourself to just clear the mind space, being the observer of what's going on, letting go of anything from the morning, and also letting go of anything either you're anticipating or even dreading for this afternoon. Bringing yourself into this moment, right here and now, focusing on that natural rhythm of breath. Be the observer of the thoughts going on in the mind space and just not being attached to them. Notice them, and just like an inhale or an exhale, moving on. Then begin to notice the physical body. What is the physical body telling you right here and now? Making any adjustments to find a little more comfort or alignment. Finding that neutral space. And then come back to that breath. Take a few rounds of breath where you deepen your inhales and lengthen your exhales. Maybe counting for 3, 2, 1. Building that count. Pausing in those moments of breathless if it feels right to you. And then moving into a rhythm of breath that just feels perfect for now. There's no right or wrong to this. Maybe stepping into that ujjayi breath, that audible sound. And then once you have that breath, draw the hands to heart center, that Anjali Mudra. If it feels right to rest the thumbs on the sternum, go ahead and go there. And then allowing an intention to form. A sankalpa for practice. A positive statement, an I am. And then taking a nice deep inhale, long exhale, letting that intention move into the room and then the universe. Coming back to the breath, blinking the eyes open. We're going to introduce our arm movements in our flow while we're still here and seated. So if you're in Sukhasana, it might be a good time to just shift legs. If you're sitting on some blocks or books and you want to go down a little bit, you're welcome to. From here, we're just going to release the hands along the side of the body. And then lifting the arms up, taking the gaze up, drawing the hands up. Bringing hands through heart center, and then shifting the hands out to the side, pushing out to the sides. From here, turning the palms up, draw the hands into the shoulders. Exhaling, pushing the arms out in front, push the hands out as if you're moving space, rounding the back, the cat back. And then turning the palms up towards the ceiling. When the hands get up, drawing the hands, bringing the hands back down to heart center. Finding that beautiful hands at heart center. One more round, I'll give you an option 2 with the hands if that feels right. Staying in the first option throughout is always an option. So releasing the hands down again on an exhale. Turning the palms up, lifting them up, drawing the energy up. And then hands back through. This time, draw them maybe a little behind the head, and then pushing out to the side. Turning the palms up, draw the fingers into the shoulders. Again, finding that resistance. Rounding the back, pushing out. Reaching the arms up, palms up. Here we'll add in, if it feels right, to let the palms come down in front and almost surrendering into a child's pose here. Bringing the third eye to the earth if that feels right. And then drawing the hands back up again. And through to heart center. 2 more times here, making it as much or as little resistance. Exhaling, hands down along the side. Inhaling the arms up and overhead, gaze up, maybe even a little back bend. Exhaling the hands down either in front or behind the head. Once they get to shoulder height, pushing the arms out. Turning the palms up. Hands to the shoulders. Rounding the back, pushing out in front. From here, the action to come up or to just surrender into a fold. If you come up, maybe another little back bend before you come back down. Keeping the movement with your breath. Last round here. Exhaling, hands down along the side. Inhale the palms up. Exhaling down either in front or behind and pushing out to the side. Palms turn up to the shoulders. Rounding the back on that exhale. Hands either down to the mat or reaching up, back bend. Coming forward. It's available to bring the third eye to the mat as you deepen. Reaching up and overhead. Hands to heart center and pause. Just take a quick scan through the body, noticing the energy you've created. And then as you are ready, taking your time, you're gonna make your way to a tabletop from here. Releasing the props, you're gonna put them along the side of the mat, and because we're gonna work from center today, just making sure that they're at center, so at any time you need them, you're welcome to get them. Once you have your tabletop set up, allow yourself to start moving through cow and cat, articulating the spine. After a few rounds, if it feels right to add some organic movement in, go ahead and go there. Whether it be some circles or some cat or cow bows. And then making your way back to stillness. Taking the time to just pause in tabletop and allow yourself this beautiful awareness of your spine. Lengthening the spine, drawing the tailbone towards the end of your mat, the crown of your head towards the front. Using the grounding down into the mat. But let that beautiful energy be balanced. Prana and apana. Find that nice core engagement here. And then we're going to tuck our toes. We're going to allow the hips to start to sink back towards the heels as we draw the hands back towards the feet. And we're going to make sure that we have all 10 toes on the mat. We're going to pause here for about 30 seconds, just opening up the feet. As we prepare to stand up and take that flow with the arms, we're going to add the feet in here. And as we want the feet to be really rounded, but with that air of mobility. So they're going to have a lot of movement on the mat, the feet. Just a couple more breaths here. And then just make your way forward to a tabletop in order to come onto the tops of the feet. And a couple options here. You might want to just reach the toes forward and wide, or you may want to do some yogi taps. Then from here, you're going to tuck the toes one more time. You're going to lift the hips. You're going to find your first downward dog of practice. And we're going to play a little bit here in downward dog. So you're going to walk the feet out to the edges of your mat, letting the legs come wide. You're welcome to add movement in here, whether it be rocking side to side or forward and back. And then just start finding that space for you. Move the feet in, maybe just one step. Noticing that difference. Maybe start walking the dog. Then move the feet in really close. Notice what that feels like. And then allow yourself to just find that space where the feet feel natural on the mat. Find stillness in your dog. And then with that nice core engagement, begin to lower the knees, bring the shins to neutral. And then draw the chest back, lift the hips up, heels back to the mat. Coming up high on the toes, rolling forward. We're gonna make this a little flow here. Just starting to open up maybe the hip flexors a little bit, knees. One more round here. And then pausing in stillness. You're gonna walk the hands back towards the feet. And you're gonna find that forward fold here. Making sure you've got that nice bend in the knees so the abs and the chest are resting on the quads, maybe shaking the head yes or no, maybe holding onto opposite elbows. Letting yourself kind of relax the shoulders a bit. Maybe rocking side to side, bumping out. And then releasing the hands if they're on the elbows. You're going to trace the hands up the shins. You're going to find that half lift here. Exhale, release. Reaching the arms out to a T. You're going to cross into the feet. You're going to come all the way up. Hands are going to come up and overhead. You're going to take a little baby back bend here. Coming back to neutral. You're going to draw the hands through to heart center. And pause here in Samasthiti. While you're in Samasthiti, you're going to rock to the outer and inner edges of the feet. You're going to maybe come up high onto the toes. Maybe lift each foot up so you're on the heels. Feeling all the edges of the feet. And then pausing in stillness. Releasing the hands down to mountain, finding that neutral spine. And then lifting the arms up and overhead. On an exhale, you're going to swan dive it forward. Inhale, you're going to take a half lift. Exhale, release. You're going to walk the hands out to a plank. We're going to engage the core here, holding this plank. Long spine. One more breath, and then lift the hips up and find that down dog again. Taking time to move if you'd like, or just pausing in stillness. And then drawing your awareness to the center of your mat. You're going to walk your feet and your hands to the center of your mat, finding that forward fold in center. Inhale, taking that half lift. Exhale, release. Reaching arms out in front this time. Pushing into the feet. Come all the way up. Palms together. Hands come together. Little back bend here. Maybe deepening it, starting to take the gaze up towards the ceiling. Come back to neutral. Hands through to Samasthiti. Taking a quarter turn to the side of your mat, whether it be right or left. Releasing the hands down along the side. You're going to step the legs out a little wider. We're going to find almost a horse posture here, so however that works for you, toes maybe pointed out. You're going to bring the hands to heart center. And we're just going to take a couple movements here, up and down, bending the knees, kind of finding that space for you if it feels right to rock side to side. Feeling that mobility of the feet here in the pose while keeping the integrity. And then adding in our arm movements here. Bringing the hands down along the side. Bending into the knees. We're going to lift the arms up and overhead. Drawing the hands down either in front or behind. Pushing the arms up. Inhale, flip the palms, turn the palms towards the shoulders and round into the back. Reaching the arms up and overhead, straightening the legs if that feels right. Drawing the hands through to heart center, coming back in to your horse. So from here, you can make that decision. You want to stay here, or do you want to get a little wider into more of a goddess? As we start to add in more here, just know you have the flexibility of starting to lift feet up off the floor. Make sure you're moving in an organic way that feels right with your body, as if it's a little dance with your breath. So as you're ready, separating the hands to the side, a little bend in the knees. Lifting the arms up and overhead. Exhale, drawing the hands down and pushing out to the side. Flipping the palms up, drawing the hands to hearts. Then reaching out in front. Straightening the legs if it feels right. You're welcome to lower the hands to the mat. Turning the feet if that feels right, with both hands on the mat. Left palm is going to stay on the mat. Right arm's going to reach up and do a twist. Bringing right hand down. You're just going to switch sides. Left arm up, left twist. Let the hips move where they organically want to go. Coming back to center. Palms are going to be on the mat. Palms are facing up towards the ceiling. Bend into the legs. Come on up. Reach up and overhead. Let the hands come back down along the side. Adding on here. Starting out in your horse or goddess. Hands at heart center if it feels like you want to sink a little deeper. Reaching the hands along the side and then exhale. Inhale, lift the arms up and overhead. Exhale through to heart center. Pushing out to the side, turning the palms up. Hands to the shoulder and then push out in front. Lowering down, bending at the hips, turning the legs. This time maybe right hand down first, lifting up to the left. Moving to the other side with the twist. Coming back to center. And this time, allowing the hands to lift off the floor and reach behind you. With a nice long back, core engaged. Come on up, palms reach up. Come back to that, we call this drinking bird, this pose. Reaching back up into that horse or goddess. Last time, let the bird drink. And then bringing the hands down to the mat here. Palms are going to face up. You're going to draw that energy up when you get to center, pushing it up. And then letting hands come down to heart center. Pause. So remembering on each round, you can add in what you want. Letting your body organically find. Each round, we're going to add something in. As you're ready, finding your horse or your goddess, hands at heart center. Letting the hands come down along the side. Inhale, lifting the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands either through heart center or back behind. Pushing out to the side. Flipping the palms up. Finding the shoulders, rounding the back as you come forward, reaching for the floor, pivoting the toes as needed. Maybe this time you want to reach up and almost find that Shavasana. Maybe moving through each side. Coming back to center, pausing in center. Finding that drinking bird by reaching the arms behind and then inhaling into that horse. Exhaling into drinking bird. Inhale into horse. Exhale into your last drinking bird. pause. Maybe start to lengthen the legs, crown of the head reaching, and then lowering the hands to the mat. Pausing here. We're gonna take the hands and walk out to the left leg. Framing that left foot, spinning onto the right toe. We're gonna lower the knee. Coming into a low lunge here, or maybe you just need some dynamic movement. Finding the space that feels right for you, whether it's dynamic moving, hands on the quads, hands up and overhead, maybe a little back bend. Breathing into it. Wherever you're at, the hands are going to come back to framing that left foot. You're going to untuck that right toe, lifting it up, spinning towards the side, coming back to that horse. Finding that nice core engagement, coming up with hands at heart center. Releasing the hands to the side. Pausing here. Feeling the strength in the legs. I know we're working those quads a lot. We got one more side to do, and I promise a little break. As you're ready, reaching the arms up and overhead. Remember, you can always straighten the legs if that feels right, a little more dynamic. As the hands come down, pushing out to the sides, turning the palms up, finding that rounding back. Allowing the hands to come to the floor mindfully, shifting the feet as needed. Coming into those low lunges or svandasanas, whatever feels right. Pausing in center. Reaching the arms behind, palms up, finding that drinking bird, and then coming up into your horse, back down into your drinking bird. Coming up into horse one more time. Drinking bird, let the hands come down to the mat. Walk them out to find that right foot. We're gonna find that low lunge on the side, so lowering that left knee. Option for the dynamic movement, or hands on the quad, reaching the arms up and overhead, or that baby back bend. Then framing that front foot, untucking the back toe, letting yourself come back to the center line of the mat, finding a wide leg forward fold. Pausing here. As the crown of the head starts to reach for the floor, see if you can have this awareness of your hips and ankles being in line. Making sure that the knees are pointed in the same direction as the toes. Holding on to either the ankles or the feet. Maybe reaching the hands through, preparing for a line. Wherever you're at, you're gonna walk the hands back to underneath the shoulder heads, and then walk the hands out in front of you and find a wide leg down dog. Making your way with the hands back to center, shifting the feet as needed, finding that nice bend in the knees, that nice core engagement, hands to heart center, come on up. Pausing here for a moment. Shifting the feet as you need to. We have one more round to do. As you're ready, letting the hands come down along the side of the body, finding that horse or goddess if it feels right for you. Inhaling, reaching the palms up and overhead. Exhale, drawing the hands down either behind the head or to heart center and pushing the arms up. Flipping the palms, find those shoulders with your fingertips and then round the back. Drawing the hands down to the floor here. Finding that twist, you decide right first or left. Maybe the Shavasana, legs. Pausing in center. This time we're going to walk the hands out towards the right foot. We're going to set up the left foot as we're going to make our way up into a warrior two here. Flipping the right palm, you're going to reach up. Find that reverse warrior. Coming back down to warrior two, and then finding an extended side angle here. So whether it be palm resting or reaching. Always aware of the block or book. Coming back to warrior two. You're going to cartwheel the hands down to the floor. You're going to spin onto the toes of both feet as you turn towards that center line again. Drawing the hands up. When the hands get to center, reaching up. Maybe drawing the hands back, taking a little wide leg. Back bend. Coming back to neutral. Hands through heart center. Shifting the feet as needed as we make our way to the other side. So as you're ready, finding either that horse or that goddess, maybe adding a little movement into the feet here. From here, letting the hands release along the side and an exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands through to heart center. Pushing the arms out to the side. Palms flat. Hands to shoulders. Rounding the back, coming forward. Taking that Shavasana, little rock of the legs here. Back to center. Walking the hands to frame that left foot, setting up your warrior two legs here, and then cartwheeling up to your warrior two. Flipping that left palm, find that reverse warrior, lengthening both sides equally. Coming back to warrior two, and then finding that extended side angle. So reaching that right arm up. Maybe the hand wants to come along the side here. Then from here, coming back into that warrior two, cartwheel the hands down, spinning onto the toes of both feet, you're pivoting towards that center line again. Finding that last wide leg forward fold. Maybe this time you want to place the hands underneath the feet, giving the feet a little massage here. We've really asked them to do a lot here in their movement. Maybe even drawing the hands up to the ankles. We've asked the ankles to do a lot. Noticing. Then wherever the hands are at, we're going to draw them into that center line. We're going to walk them out in front, take one last wide leg forward, downward dog. Then walking the hands underneath the shoulder heads, turning the toes, knowing that we're going to come up here, engaging the core, pressing in. Hands to heart center. From here, you're just going to heel toe the feet in. And then when you're ready to step back to center, you're gonna find some SDT. Really ask the legs, the quads and hamstrings to do a lot of work today. So as we turn to face the front of our mat, we're just going to take a nice, gentle forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to here. Placing both hands in the mat, you're just going to step down to a tabletop. You're going to rock right and left here. And if it feels right to pause on one side, you're going to go there, taking a couple breaths and a couple rounds. And then sinking the hips towards the heels. We're just going to find a hero's pose here. Remembering if your knees are telling you that's not available today, find the Sukhasana. Pausing in stillness and just noticing. In our flow today, we allowed for flexion and extension. But it was just different than our traditional sun salutation. Allowing maybe a little more openness in the hips. A little strength in the spine. A little openness in the shoulders. And then as you're ready, you're gonna swing the legs to either the right or the left. You're gonna come down onto your sit bones. We're just gonna extend the legs out in order to recline down. As everyone knows, I love Dandasana, but we did a lot of work on those hamstrings today. So we're gonna take a little pause as we recline down. We're just gonna let the legs just kind of reach the pinky toe out for the edge and then draw the big toes in together. So just a little rotation of the femur head and the hip. And then when you're ready, you're gonna hug the knees into the chest and just massage the back of the pelvis and the low back. While you're here, roll your ankles out, right and left. Point and flex. Spread the toes wide, stretching the feet and hug the toes in. And then pausing in stillness, you're going to hug the right knee in as you reach the left leg up towards the ceiling. You're going to be drawing the toes back towards your face as you reach with your heel and let that left leg come along on the mat. Meanwhile, hugging in that right knee. As you hug that right knee in, do it dynamically, keep that action in that left leg, keeping that left leg active. And then when you're ready to move into a twist, you're going to reach out with the right arm and with the left hand draw the right leg across the body. We're going to keep the gaze up towards the ceiling here as we allow ourselves to draw focus into the core and the lumbar. Then into the thoracic cavity. And then on an inhale, drawing the right leg back up and in. You're gonna again draw awareness into that left leg. And as you push through that heel, you're gonna lift that long leg back up and then hug that knee. Then as you hug the left leg in, you're gonna reach the right leg up, drawing the toes back towards the face, and then reaching with that heel. Push, push, push through the heel. Drawing that leg down as slow as you would like. Hugging that left knee in. Keep hugging that left knee dynamically with the breath. And then as you're ready, draw the right leg, or left leg across with the right hand and reach out with the left arm. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to keep the gaze up at the ceiling. We're going to focus on that core and then the lumbar. And then move into the entire thoracic cavity. Noticing the subtle differences. Then as you're ready, on an inhale, drawing that knee back into the chest with awareness of that right leg. Pushing through that right heel, you're gonna lift that right leg back and up. Hug it into the chest. From here, you have the option to hug the knees into the chest, maybe coming into that little yoga egg. That might feel really good if you have no issues in your neck or back. Or you may want to do some more circles with the knees, releasing the hips a little bit. You can do this really organic. And then as you're ready, you're going to let the feet float to the floor. And you're going to find your shape for Shavasana, whether it be extending the legs out. Maybe you'd like a little more hip opening, coming into a Supta Baddha Konasana. Taking this time as you enter into Shavasana, relaxation posture, to find that space of relaxation. Relaxation posture or Shavasana is truly the most important pose of our practice. Everything we do is to come to this space. Yoga Sutras we talk about in Sutra 1.2. that yoga is the space we come to calm the mind. As we practice our yoga, I like to think of it as almost like a mind clearing. Through this physical practice, it allows us to see clearly, seeing what is true. So allowing yourself this time as we will close practice in Shavasana to, if you have the time to explore, to stay here for a few minutes longer. Allowing yourself to feel into that sense of peace and calm. I thank you all for the privilege of guiding you through your practice today. I truly hope the benefits of practice follow you into the rest of your day today, maybe into the rest of your week. May you all be happy, may you be safe, may you walk this earth always in loving kindness, at peace, and always at ease. From my heart to all of your hearts, Namo Namaha, Namaste.